Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Decided to skip Wednesday. I'm going to do this as a weekend video for both days and just split it into two parts. That way I don't have to skip anything here. But we're going to try to enjoy both parts of the journey with maybe a little bit less commentary than I usually would make here. So I'll just explain what we're doing here today. Rail Tour season is now in full swing, and today is no different. Today you are in charge of a tour from Leeds to Glasgow, which is being worked by double-headed Class 37 locomotives and MK1 stock. Starting at Settle, the weather has not been kind, and an unrelenting fog hangs over the hills. You are required to head north along the picturesque route and make calls at Ribblehead, Garsdale, Appleby, and finally Carlisle, where another driver will take over for the non-stop run up the West Coast Main Line to Glasgow. That's a bit of a long explanation, isn't it? But nonetheless, that is what is involved in waking up Neighbours. We're going to be starting, I guess, at Settle. Unless we're already on the move when it starts, I don't know. But I guess we're starting in the Settle area because we're stopping at Ribblehead as our first stop. We're going to have several other stops up to Carlisle. So there we go. That's what our marching orders are for the day. Let's get ourselves started and let's see what we can get into here. While the scenario loads, I just want to quickly point out that I am aware of an article that was posted within hours of my finishing this recording. I did not know about this at the time that I was recording this scenario, therefore, and as such, I will be looking at it early next week. Stay tuned for some commentary on this article that will be coming on this channel. Make sure to subscribe to know when I post that information. Good morning, driver. Please release the doors immediately in order to allow passengers to board the train here at Settle. Well, I've done that. Let's take a quick scan along the train and see what it looks like. If I can release from the train, we head over here. We can see that this is indeed a double-headed 37 with a lamppost here. It actually says Settle on it. I like that. And as we go along, we see the doors are indeed open. So we're going to get in the train, get ourselves set up. And that means bringing up the HUD. We're going to... I guess it is raining, so I guess we're going to need the wipers. Ooh, that doesn't do much, does it? That is really zoomed in, isn't it? Is that just me, or is this really zoomed in? In any case, headlights. Come on. They work on this train. And I think we have... Nope, cab light doesn't work. Instrument lights? I can't really see anything. So, oh, hello. So, yeah, we are starting at Settle, as you can see. And as indicated, we have 4 stops. So... I'm going to be curious how this train handles in this weather. I'm going to also be curious how the route itself handles with the Class 37. I remember trying to run the 37 scenario in career mode on the Portsmouth direct line, and I just got random wheel slip in various places, so I'm a little concerned this might do the same thing. Hopefully not. I'm going to, again, save at every station to try to do each part of the run as safely as I can without any wheel slip. But it seems like we're going to get penalized for wheel slip wherever we go here. So let's see if we can do this without any penalties here. Oh, and our first stop is going to be at literally 14 minutes from now at Ribblehead. So we're going to be planning for a stop in 14 minutes. And then we're going to go onwards from there with various other stops we'll talk about as we go. So, okay, driver, you are now going to take your service up the 1 in 100 incline to Ribblehead, which will be your next port of call. Thank you very much. I need the reverser on. That'd be a good idea. It's not a bad idea, since we were starting on a slight incline, to put the throttle on first. But with that particular setup, perhaps we didn't need to. Look at all the coaches we have. We are too big for Settle Station. So I guess we're doing the front coach loading technique here. So leaving Settle, our next stop is, or first stop rather, is Ribblehead. We have to be there again in 14 minutes. Well, 13, maybe 12 minutes now. The challenge is going to be getting this train up to speed. And boy, this train roars, doesn't it? So since this is going to probably be a two-parter, I'm just going to go ahead and explain. I'm going to go ahead and take ourselves up to at least Garsdale right now. And I'm going to do the second hour as a scenario run tomorrow. So we're going to do this in two parts. We're going to go to Garsdale now. We're going to do the Garsdale... Or should I do to Appleby? Now I'll do 2 stops now and I'll do 2 stops tomorrow. Even though the second one tomorrow will be longer, I will do up to Garsdale today and finish up to Carlisle tomorrow, is what I think I'm going to do for this scenario. So this will be a 2-part video. Be aware of that in advance. And I hope you're having a good, or had a good week, rather. We had some really, really nice weather here over the week. Temperatures got up to about 25, 26, 27 degrees Celsius, somewhere in that range. I don't remember where they stopped. I just know I got a 26 at one point. So we're getting into the summer weather here already, and it's still early spring. Next week is supposed to be chilly, though. A quick note on the NRN radio, you see it is non-functional. Next, or I should say on the lower part of the cab to the right of what we can see on the screen, that is not functional. I'll go ahead and I'll pipe down now and I'll let you just enjoy the drive. Quick note before I do that, I just noticed that the cab view shows the, on the upper left corner. I just noticed I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here on the cab view. So this is going to be a bit of a awkward cab view. I'm definitely going to be changing this train out in the future. But I noticed for right now I'm going to have to zoom in one level on these drives. So something I'm going to keep under advisement as I switch in and out of the cab here on this journey. You might just notice a tree clipped through the cab there, so it looks like this 37 and the foliage on this route don't mesh up very well. I've been playing around with the throttle a little bit here because I wanted to see if I could figure out a good setting on the 1 in 100 gradient. I think I finally have something working here. Here is Horton in Ribblehead. We're now 4 miles away from Ribblehead Station. You may be noticing in the corner that the ETA does not seem to match up for the speed we're going. I think we're going to be on time, but we'll see what happens when we get there. This could be a problem. We have a 30 speed limit 1.5 miles away. I forgot about that for a moment. We do have to slow down to that before we reach the station. This will affect negatively our ability to stop on time on this first stop. Let's hope we make it on time here. It's not looking likely at this point. I'm going to push the speed as much as I can until we have to actually slow down. We're going to see how the brakes work in a moment here. Down to 30 in time. So I am in good shape here for the speed limit. Now let's see if I can be in good shape for the stop. When we come into the station, we're going to go ahead and just hit those brakes and stop wherever we end up. And almost put it into emergency brake. I actually was on 100 for a moment there. So technically I'm past the end of the station, but on the HUD it shows I'm still stopping in the grounds. That's interesting. But we have arrived at Ribblehead, platform 2. Let's see how we do. Leaving Ribblehead, our next stop will be Garsdale. We're about to go over the Ribblehead Viaduct. Because I know now there's graphical problems with this train, I'm just going to go ahead and stay in the cab, and we're going to enjoy the ride from inside today. We are starting with a 30 mile per hour speed limit. And we're now climbing up to the viaduct level. I've eased the speed back, or the throttle back rather, because we are approaching the speed limit. The 60 does not take place until I think the other side of the viaduct. So we're going to maintain our speed for now. Rating got a little heavier, so we're going to go ahead and put a little throttle back on to maintain 30. Notice that we are down to a single track as we go onto the viaduct. For those who didn't see it on the previous videos. By the way, according to the timetable I'm seeing here, we're going to be a little early for our stop. I wonder if we have a red signal up ahead somewhere that we might have to stop for. That might be related to our situation here. We will find out. A little bumpy coming across the viaduct. Might be an issue with this model of the 37. That 15 has nothing to do with us. That is for the sign that just opened up to the right. That is also not the second track. There's going to be another track that opens up here. And there it is. I think this is where the other main track is, to the right now of where we just went. We moved to the left. So I believe that is the second main track now on the right of us. And we can now increase our speed again. 60 is our speed limit. Because we have a little bit of time to work with, I'm going to go ahead and just move up gradually rather than try to jump it all up all the way at once. Reason again being I want to avoid having wheel slip trying to put on too much power at once. So if we keep it gentle, I should be okay. Only one way to find out, right? This is the I know I said this wrong last time because I was corrected. I think I refer to it as the Blaymore Tunnel. I probably am still saying that wrong. I'm pronouncing blé as kind of as in blé. As in the word blé. So I'm easing the throttle completely back now because we are on fairly flat ground. There is a slight gradient, 1 in 440. That's not going to affect us too much at all. So a 9% throttle, which I think is what I have here. I'm leaning back so I can't read it as well, but I think that says 9%. That is enough to keep us at a reasonable speed. Looks like I'm losing slight amount of speed here. So move it up a wee bit. Oh, that's not a lucky number. I seem to be stuck at 13. Oh well. There we go, 12. So I believe we just crossed the Dent Head Viaduct. I know there's a couple of viaducts here. We also have the Arton Gill Viaduct. Or Jill, might be Jill. But spelled as in a fish, so I'm assuming it's Arton Gill. On the other side of the ladder viaduct, we're going to come upon Dent Station. There's an interesting mishmash of speed limit markers up ahead. I believe that is a 30. So I'm going to need to check my settings on the route and see if I can turn off those duplicating signs there, because that seems to be an issue on some routes. Now, there seems to be a fix that you can do in the scenario properties to fix it. This might be the aforementioned Arton Gill Viaduct, or Arton Gill Viaduct. Since I have lots of time for my stop, according to the timetable, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to bring it down with enough time to spare to make sure I don't blow through a lower speed limit. Shadows are interesting. So let's lower our speed a little bit here. You can see again we have trains going by. This is the 6E52 service to Colton, PS. We are getting a warning for the 30. I was correct on reading that 30 on the HUD. And I'm actually bringing it down way too early. So I'm actually letting the brakes off for a moment. And put a little bit more on now. There we go. So I'm a little early coming into that speed limit, but we'll take it. This is Dent, the highest mainline railway station in, I think it's just Great Britain. I don't think it's the entire UK. And back up to 60. Again, we're going to take it easy making our way up. Wheel slip concerns. Garsdale is the next station. Before then, we're going to go through the Rise Hill Tunnel, which is a 1,213-yard tunnel. Or for those of you who are of a Canadian measuring mind like mine, 1,109 meters. And there is the entrance to the tunnel straight ahead. That number of my speed is bouncing around a lot. There is nothing steady about this. Makes me wonder what is going on here. In any case, Garsdale is 2 miles away, a little less than that now, actually. So we should be seeing green on the HUD in just a moment, and we're going to get ready to slow down. We have no other landmarks before Garsdale. Remember, we are going to split this scenario into 2 parts. So this will be the end of part 1 coming up here. And we're going to follow up with part 2 tomorrow. So I'll take the opportunity now to say thank you for watching part 1. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you can see when part 2 shows up. And we'll carry on from there. I might do a new route starting on Tuesday, which is a little unusual for me, but I'm debating doing something new on Tuesday. I may just do something else to lead into that on Tuesday, but I haven't decided specifically yet. I do have another train in mind I want to show off, and I kind of want to introduce the route that it uses. So that's the route I have in mind if I decide to do that. So I may have something new on Tuesday, but we are going to finish this scenario tomorrow. So again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is free. That bell, of course, indicates a green signal. And since I have lots of time, I'm going to start braking now. That's a good start. Let's take a little more off. My speed is now down to about 20. I'm trying to bring the engine to a stop at the end of the platform here. That said, the passengers can't really board the engine, so it doesn't really matter if the engine stops on the platform or not on second thought. So maybe I'll just bring it through a little bit. Bring it up a little further just to remind me the signal is green, then I'll go ahead and I'll stop. So we have an extra passenger car on the platform. And there we go. Arrival at Garsdale. See you for part number 2 tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you, you're a part of the world.